Okay, as you see, I was on my Instagram for Rojo Chief Clothing, and I'm clicking on my online clothing store. And on here, I have clothes. I got hoodies, sweatshirts. You know, if you like to buy them, long sleeve, short sleeve. I'm clicking on hoodies right now for men, and that's one. And then I'm clicking back just to show you fashions that I have for women. Like I have long sleeve shirt. Okay. Then I even have clothing for babies as well and kids. So that's the onesie. You can get that in different colors, as well as t-shirts, hoodies, and long sleeves for kids. So now let's get ready for the show. Hey, this is Kelly of Rojo Chief Clothing, and here from a book that one of my Facebook friends had posted, it says what they never told you. It said the first, quote, end quote, Americans were black. It says the scholarly Latin author C.C. Marquez explains the strong probability that black people were the first people in America, out of which later came the red American race. It is likely that we repeat that long ago the youthful America was also a Negro continent, and that the Otomis of Mexico, the Caracola of Haiti, the Metayas of Brazil, and the albinos of Panama are the remains of the aboriginal Negro race, out of which developed later what is known as the red or American race. And that is from the book Estados Arqueológicos y Ethnográficos, Volume 1, Madrid, 1920. Then you see Professor Alexander von Withenu, Unexpected Faces in Ancient America, adds how black people were present in America in the most ancient or pre-classical times. The startling fact is that in all parts of Mexico, archaeological places representing Negro or Negroid people have been found, especially in the archetype or pre-classic sites. The presence of Negroes with their trading masters in America before Columbus. It says, is proven by representation of Negroes in American sculpture and design. Okay, so as you saw that in the other passage, it was talking about how black people, Negro people, were the first people and are the first people, the original Americans, which are also known as Paleo Americans. Paleo means ancient Americans. So indigenous black people or Negro people have always been on the American continent. And those people were reclassified as blacks, Negroes, coloreds, mulattoes. Okay, and then that's who the people that you know today or you knew in the past that were called colored people. Or as in today's time, they refer to these Indians, these American Indians, as being black people. Okay, and previously they were known as being called Negroes or American Negroes. Okay, which is distinct from African Negroes that were brought over here. Now, I told you all that in previous videos that there were less than about 300,000 African people that were imported to the United States as slaves. And I had got that information from another channel that I shared with you all called Indigenous Education. And on that channel, they go into the statistics about the United States, Library of Congress, and so on and so forth. And I also told you guys that the numbers don't add up. Tasha Shee's video when she was talking about that the numbers that they claimed of how many African people were actually shipped over to the United States, that the numbers are not adding up at the United States Library of Congress, because we know that in schools they put lies and propaganda in the school system, like Detroit, Chicago, Philadelphia, Atlanta, New York, New Jersey, and across the board, wherever there are a majority of people of American Indian descent, and indigenous Negro descent, they lied and made it seem as though the majority of the black population was of African slaves, when the truth of the matter is the majority of the population was actually people that were free people of color that was considered as American Indians, American Negroes. And then the minority population of the black population were actually African people. And then those African people, they had intermarried with the American Indians, also known as American Negroes. See, that's what happened. Especially with the Cherokee, because the Cherokee was being attacked by the Europeans, and it was taking a lot of the males from the Cherokee Indian tribe, and it was sending them out to like Barbados and Bermuda and other Caribbean nations to be broken into being slaves, okay? And then also, according to the United States Library of Congress records, they showed a lot of the people from South America, Central America, and the Caribbean Indians being imported to the United States. So you have to keep that in mind. And like I was saying before, that it was cheaper for Europeans to try to kidnap American Indians off the coast and shipping them around the American continent than it was for them to go, to Africa and then kidnap millions of people and then ship them to the United States to be slaves. That was very expensive for them to do that. Okay, so, but right here, we're going to hone in on that aspect of what happened after African Negro people got here and how they had intermixed with the American Indians, also known as American Negroes. Okay, it says the many African Americans that have taken to Ancestry.com weren't just looking to connect to African tribes. They were also checking, researching, and verifying their connections as American Indians. William Katz, author of Black Indians, A Hidden Heritage, and Patrick Means, who presented transcribed interviews collected during the WPA slave narratives during the years 1936-1938, believe that Africans and Native Americans should be American Indians. It says mixed, procreated, and produced half African, half Indian people. So yeah, that's true, because that did happen. Just like it happened with the Cherokee Indian tribe, it also happened with other American Indian tribes as well, okay? So anyway, so let's skip down. It says, Waltho Wallace Wesley, a descendant from the Muskogee Creek and Seminole nations, a lifelong resident of Indian Territory in present-day Oklahoma. An Indian historian states they were removing Indians from the East Coast and South and sending them here to Oklahoma. The deal was, you can go to Oklahoma and we'll leave you alone. We'll actually provide protection so nobody come and bother you. Y'all could be Indians all you want to, but you got to turn over your land. See, that was the objective. Is that's what they was telling our ancestors. That's what they was telling our other relatives. They was telling the Black Indians, the indigenous Indians, okay, American Negroes, American Negro Indians, they was telling them, hey, give us your land and go over here to Oklahoma and you can be as Indian as you want to be. Basically, that's what they was telling them in exchange. Go over here to Oklahoma, Indian, and we'll leave you alone and just give us your lands, all your lands that you guys have inherited from over generations, over thousands of years. To give us your land. Basically that's what they were saying. Is y'all can be Indians all you want to, but you got to turn over your land, or you can stay here on your land. We just going to reclassify you how we feel. So now those Indians who decided to stay on their land were reclassified as Negroes. And so here's the person right here. Here's the man who he educated them and to tell them, okay, that's what happened to the Indians. It says this propagated the Indian Removal Act and reclassification. Though other tactics were employed, the lynchings of the Jim Crow South enforced the reclassifications from Indians to Black Americans. Watho says it became illegal to be Indian when they were hanging all them folks down south in those trees. A lot of the folks were hanging in trees because they would not forget they were Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creeks, Cherokees, and Creeks. Martin Luther King Jr. said the Negro is exiled in his own land during his infamous I Have a Dream speech. His speech is often quoted, but possibly Pacific statement was not fully received. If you like today's broadcast, drop me a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can know when I drop a new video. Thanks.